Guys, today we're going to learn about equivalent fractions. And we're going to just review vocabulary really quickly. Remember that equivalent means equal. When we kind of say the word equivalent, we kind of hear the word equal in it. And I'm going to write equal right here just so we know that equivalent fractions means equal, right? So today we're going to be talking about two ways to make an equivalent fraction. There are two ways. We multiply or we can divide. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of steps on how to multiply to make an equivalent fraction and how to divide to make an equivalent fraction. And this week when you're practicing with your packet, you have a packet that's on equivalent fractions that you will multiply or divide to make those equivalent fractions, okay? So I've already written our example fraction on the board here. We have 4/8. So we're going to use the number 2 today to multiply equivalent fractions. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply my numerator as well as my denominator by 2, okay? So 4 times 2 equals 8. And 8 times 2 equals 16. So that means 4/8 is equivalent or equal to 8/16. Okay? Now I'm going to do another one. If I wanted to take 4/8 and make another equivalent fraction, I could multiply it by 3. So 4/8 times 3, I would do it to my numerator as well as my denominator. You always have to remember, we are multiplying our numerator and our denominator by the same number. Never different numbers, the same number. So 4 times 3 equals 12. And 8 times 3 equals 24. So now I have 4/8 is equal to 12/24 or 12/24. 12/24. So now I have 4/8 is equal to 8/16 and 4/8 is equal to 12/24. Okay? So if I were writing my fractions that I started with and then made equivalent fractions, I would have 4/8 is equal to 8/16, which is also equal to 12/24. And I should see a pattern. If I look at my pattern here, I would see that 4, 8, 12. So that means I'm skip counting by what? I have skip counted by 4s. I can also look at my denominators and see when I'm multiplying, I have 8, 16, 24. Skip counting by 8s. So in your assignment this week, you would see that if you pay attention to your numerators as well as your denominators, you should find a pattern in how you're skip counting. I would give bonus points to those who can show me what they're skip counting by in those multiplication problems. All right, now we're going to move on to dividing. Part 2, a second way to find an equivalent fraction. The first way was multiplying. The second way is dividing. So with 4/8, I can divide my fraction. We're going to divide it by 2. Remember, whatever I divide, just like multiplication, whatever I multiply my numerator and denominator by, it has to be the same number. Same thing with division. If I divide my numerator by 2, I have to divide my denominator by 2. So 4 divided by 2 equals 2. And 8 divided by 2 equals 4. So an equivalent fraction for 4/8 is 2/4. So 4/8 is equivalent to 2/4. I can take that same fraction, 4/8, and I can divide it by 4. And 4 divided by 4 equals 1. And 8 divided by 4 equals 2. So 4/8 is equivalent or equal to 1/2. So now I can write out these fractions to show that they're all equivalent to each other. So we would start with 4/8 is equal to 2/4, which is also equal to 1/2. And remember, when we are multiplying and dividing fractions, you first have to make sure you're multiplying by the same number or dividing by the same number. If you have any questions, you can email me or you can call me on my cell, and Ms. Rumley is willing to help you at any time during our school hours, 8 to 4. Thank you. Have a good day. Miss you guys.